Hey everybody, this is Troy Alexander with Hamilton Radio. I'm excited one more time to be back with you. This is Inspiration with Troy Alexander every Monday night here on Hamilton Radio. But listen, let me get you, I'm getting ready to change day and time, but I will announce that on my next week's show. But we're getting ready to move to another day and another time. But right now, it's 8 o'clock on Hamilton Radio right here with Inspiration with Troy Alexander. I'm so excited. So much has happened from last week until this week. I told you every week that we are coming on here with a purpose. Our purpose is to encourage you to what? Dream, take that step and walk with purpose into your destiny. I'm telling you. And all I want to do is be a living example of to let somebody know, listen, you can do this. It's not over. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through, you can get through. Yes, you can. Listen, and I'm telling you right now, because I've been there where I didn't know how I was going to make it through until the next day, until the next week. But I'm telling you right now, you are going to get through this because your destiny is, listen, your destiny is there for you. And I'm telling you right now, we're getting ready for a wonderful celebration right now. Listen, I told you my purpose in life is to inspire you, to encourage you, to uplift you, to let you know you can, no matter what age you are, no matter what experience you got or don't have, no matter your education level, I'm telling you, make your passion your purpose. And I'm telling you, it'll bring you to a place that you never even dreamed of. Listen, I didn't see all of this, but I'm telling you right now, I'm so excited to where I'm at. Listen, this is show number 65, y'all, right here on Hamilton Radio. I'm excited about what is about to take place. I told you what my purpose is. Yes, I did. Listen, and you can even come here and watch the show live. Yes, you can, right here in Robbinsville, New Jersey. So listen, if you want to come, bring your youth group, bring your adult group, bring all ages. You can sit here right in the studio, watch the show live, talk to us before the show, talk to our amazing producer, Ruben. I'm telling you, it's a wonderful experience. So if you want to come, listen, email me at iaminspiredtroy@gmail.com. iaminspiredtroy@gmail.com. Listen, and I told you before, we give shout-outs on the show. Listen, I'm so excited for a young man tonight. The second episode, his name is Travis Wolf Jr., and he is one of the stars of the new sitcom on CBS called Bob Abishola, or Bob Hart's Abishola. And I'm telling you right now, it's on Channel 2 coming on tonight at 8:30. So listen, just shout out to him. I'm so proud of this young man, this young man. Went out there to California with his family, and all of a sudden, things turned around. And he got into the acting. I'm telling you right now, I'm sitting home watching a young man, and I know him. I know his mother, his father, his sister, his little sister. I know it's wonderful. I'm telling you right now, there's no limit to your destiny. If this is something that you want, this is something that you want to go get, listen, you have the power and the authority. And if you don't know how, ask somebody. I'm going to lift my hands and listen, ask me. Whatever I can do to help you get to, I'm going to do that. As long as you're committed to who you are. Listen, y'all, I got so much that I got to share with you really quick. Right here, we're getting ready to celebrate our 1-year anniversary on Hamilton Radio. I'm so excited. On this coming Saturday, yes, October 5th, I'm so excited at the E Hotel Banquet and Conference Center. Listen, we are just, I mean, so many people have want to come and support us. Listen, my wife's going to be showcasing her fashion line, Lydia Naomi Alexander. You can follow her at Lydia Seller of Purple on Instagram. Listen, Brand A is going to be in the house. Alyssa Lego and Amanda Wiskowski, but their brand, these are two teenagers who started a fashion brand. Listen, I can't make this up. Listen, if you come, those who are coming on this day are going to meet some amazing people. I'm telling you, and that's all I want to do is network, bring together. Listen, these were two teenagers who said we want to have a fashion brand, and guess what? They raised money to support those on the autism spectrum. Their hearts are as big as solid as gold, and they're wonderful individuals. I'm so proud of them. But listen, it's going to be a wonderful day on Saturday. In addition to the fashion showcase, we have some amazing guests lined up that's coming, people that's been on television, people that's on television, people that's done this show, done that, have done projects, have done their own businesses. I'm telling you, it's going to be an amazing, amazing day. I'm so excited. And you know what my whole purpose is? I want people to walk away from this anniversary saying, you know what? I'm going to take that step. You know what? I'm going to dream a little bigger. Yes, I am. Listen, I'm going to go for that audition. I'm going to go for that new business. I'm telling you, this is what it's all about. And listen, I got something else I got to say. This past weekend, there was a young lady. She wants to get into the modeling and the runway and the fashion and all of that. We were blessed to be able to take her to an audition, a casting call at the Newark Airport, at the Marriott, at the Newark Airport. And when I tell you, this young lady, she made it. So the show is November 30th at 10 p.m. at night at the Marriott Hotel at the Newark Airport. I'll share more about that at another time, but she'll be walking for amazing designers, and she had a chance to take a photo with the co-founder of Def Comedy Jam. Listen, I'm telling you right now, all you got to do is make yourself visible. And guess what? We sat in the room, and I was sitting next to the co-founder of Harlem Fashion Week. And I'm telling you, she was like, I want the young lady to walk in my show. All I'm telling you is, when you make yourself visible, people can find you. I've always encouraged you that every time. If I can't see you, if I can't hear you, I can't find you. But she made herself visible for one moment, and two doors opened up. When in fact there were no doors that she saw at one point, but two doors at one time showed up. I'm telling you right now, get ready, y'all. Make yourself visible. And if you need some help getting there, let me know. Let's have a conversation. But I'm so excited tonight about everything that is taking place. And you all know that I do a Points of Purpose right here every week on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook at Troy Alexander. You can follow me on Instagram. I take pictures at Pick by Design, PICBY Design. Listen, I'm telling you, it's going to be a phenomenal day experience. I'm telling you, listen, I'm going to go back to my radio anniversary. Listen, one of the keynote speakers, I'm so excited, is Angela Perryman. She is one of the most popular, quintessential models on QVC. You can go see her tonight, go see her the next day. She's always, I'm telling you, and she has so much else going on. But I'm so excited that she's going to be in the house on Saturday and one of our keynote speakers. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be phenomenal. You don't want to miss it. And to all the people that have registered to come, now don't show up at the door because this is pre-registration, all right? So all the tickets, but listen, I'm telling you, bring your business cards. We want to support you and advertise you and let you know, listen, we're here to support you because we believe in you. And just really quick, before our guest calls in a minute or two, I got a couple of points of purpose that I want to share with you real quick. I put this on Facebook, and I said, a door is there for you to walk through. Take that step. You got to not only believe this, but you got to know this. You got to know that there's a door that is set before you that no man, no woman, nothing. I'm telling you, but you got to keep walking. You got to keep moving into your destiny, your purpose, whatever it is. You might not be on television, but get your phone and do a video. Begin a video blog. Begin a YouTube page. I'm telling you, how many people have been known and have been found by watching somebody on Instagram or YouTube? Make your own video. I've said this before. If nobody doesn't invite you to that concert, make your own concert. Yes, I declare today. So I'm encouraging you right now. There is a door for you. Yes, it is. No matter what done happened in the past and what had taken place, there's a door for you. So I'm telling you right now, we're getting ready. Our amazing guest is calling in shortly. That's probably her calling now. So our amazing producer, Ruben, is going to take care of that for us. But I'm telling you right now, we're getting ready for so much more. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the guest coming on Saturday. I'm so excited. So are we there, Ruben? Is our guest on the line? I am so listen, y'all. We getting ready. So let me hear Ruben, and we'll go ahead. I thank you so much. Our wonderful producer Ruben is setting up the call, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Is our guest there?
This is Kim.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so glad you are with us tonight. Listen, everybody, let me introduce you to this amazing woman, Dr. Kimberly McDowell. I'm telling you, PhD, full-time professor, at she teaches at, if I can say, Wichita State
Yes.
University. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, and she's a mother of five with, and I'm going to get a clarification, but four bonus children. Now you got to tell me what that.
Bonus babe.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and she's also the co-founder of the nonprofit that is focused on health, wellness, education, support, and resources for at-risk youth. And I'm going to add this: fitness extraordinaire. Listen, Kimberly, I'm telling you, you are so amazing. And as I was thinking about this interview today, I was thinking back to the time that we first met, and I'm not sure how I got involved with it, but it was at a fashion event for cause, and I remember
Yes.
it was at a church, and I was trying to remember how I got involved with it, but I can't remember how. But somehow I was taking photos at the event, and I got a chance to meet the wonderful you. And so,
Yeah.
and I'm so grateful for you. So listen, tell me if you had to describe your journey to this point in life, how would you describe your journey thus far?
I would say that my journey has. I am blessed. I don't really know how else to say it. I started off when we first met. I was working to raise money for sick and injured children, and that was
Yes.
the fashion show. And I think we pretty much put a call out there for help because we needed a photographer for the event,
Yes.
and you volunteered your services, um, and then through that experience, that was my first time founding a nonprofit and working with nonprofit and charity. And I have served in numerous capacities, but that was my first kind of official dipping my toes in the sand kind of thing. And I learned a lot of lessons. I've grown a lot as a person
Yes.
in my own personal journey and in my journey with God and with others.
Yes.
And just I feel just very blessed. I don't know how else to describe my journey other than it's just been a blessing.
Wow, that's amazing, and it's amazing. And I think you're right. I think I saw like a call out, and I just saw it, and I volunteered. I reached out, and it was like, sure, come, and from that moment, that because how how long ago was that? Do you recall?
That was, I guess, probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Wow, wow,
Yeah, because I've been back in Kansas, so I was in Florida at the time, and I've been back in Kansas now for 4 years. So
wow.
that's a good six years ago that we met, and then we've just stayed connected through social media
Yes, we
since
did.
then. So yes,
Yes, we did. Well, I'm telling you, watching your journey has been amazing. And it was such a blessing. It has been a blessing to know you and to meet you. It really has been. And you are so inspiring. I'm so proud of you and all that you've done and all that you're doing. Listen, tell me how did education become so important to you? Because you are a doctor. I mean, you're a
I
PhD.
am. Yes.
Yes. So how did education become so important to you along your journey?
Well, I think for me, personally, I've always loved school. I love learning, and I decided early on that I was, whether I went to education as a profession or not, I was going to choose to be a continuous lifelong learner because I think that's one way that you experience growth is through constantly learning and experiencing new things. When I was in college, I originally actually started off as a business major, and that lasted all of a semester until I realized this is not really what feeds my soul. Working with
Hmm.
kids is what feeds my soul, and so
Wow.
I changed my major to education. And I remember the university. I went to Wichita State as an undergrad, and as part of that, I was actually a sophomore. That experience, they have a program that's called co-op, which is cooperative education. And so you can work in the schools and earn college credit
Oh wow.
for working in the schools. So I was assigned to a Title I school, and I was a reading and a math tutor. And here I am, all of 19 years old, and I'm working with these kids who are struggling in reading and in math, and their stories and working with them day in and day out. They come
Yes.
from homes of poverty. They came from homes of, parents were incarcerated. Some of them were in foster care. And it really just touched my heart. And I thought, these kids need people who love them, support them, and are truly invested in them. And that's, at the ripe old age of 19, I decided that was what I was going to dedicate my life to, is working with kids who needed adults around them.
I love it. I mean, that is truly awesome and amazing. And I'm telling you, it's you are changing lives. You are truly inspiring others and changing lives. Now I gotta ask you now, because now you said that you have 5 children and
Mm-hmm.
and 4 bonus children. Now you have to explain that to me.
Yes. So I don't like the word step.
Yes,
So
yes,
I call them, because I feel like they're a gift from God. I just birthed
yes.
them, and so I call them bonus babies. And I have 2
Wow.
from a previous marriage and 2 from the marriage I'm about to enter. And you know, I also say that we are bound by love, not by blood. And so these are my bonus babies that I've been gifted with. So
Wonderful, wonderful. And I was, I mean, I kind of knew, but I was like, that's a new terminology that I haven't heard before. But it's wonderful. They are bonuses. Yes,
thank
they
you.
are.
They are.
Cause
Yeah,
cause
absolutely they are.
that's positive. I love that.
Yes.
And I love that about you, and you're so positive, and again, you're so amazing. And I have to ask you, what do you think it was a moment, or like what has brought this care and this love for children? Because again, you talked about at the age of 19, like, was it something that you saw, or something that you heard, or that you experienced, that you think was
Um,
sort of a catalyst that helped you sort of knew that this is where you wanted to be?
I think it was probably all of the above.
Mm,
I have always been drawn to feeling the need to help and to serve others. And
wonderful.
when I was working in the schools, at that really young age, realizing that these kids really need somebody to champion for them,
Yes,
because
yes.
sometimes they don't have that. And I felt very called. It wasn't really even a conscious decision. I
Hmm.
just thought, this is my calling. This is
Wow.
exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And
Right.
so it was probably a combination of experience and listening to kids and being invested in them genuinely.
Wow, awesome. I mean, that's truly amazing, and I'm going to applaud you because I do that, and I just think that's so important to just promote those who are just making a difference in the lives of others, and your heart is so amazing. I mean, you've been doing various events for young people for like what, like almost 20 years or so, right?
Yeah, yes, for a while, yes.
Now,
Without aging myself, yeah.
well, listen. Listen. I gotta ask you, what brought you to Jersey that time? Because you were in Florida, but now you're in Kansas.
Yes, so I'm originally from Kansas, moved to Florida, worked at Florida Gulf Coast University for 2 years. And during kind of that whole time, I was also competing in a pageant and met some pageant sisters, one of whom lived in New Jersey. And then she had a friend and that I became friends with, and they offered to host one of our fashion shows
Wow.
up there in New Jersey. And so that's how I ended up in New Jersey. That's why I say everything has been such a blessing, because the connections that God's put in my life, and
Yes.
the friendships, and the like-minded, like-hearted people that He's put in my life has really just been a blessing. And that I'm convinced that's when you know that you're on the right track, is when things all kind of just work out the way that they're supposed to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen. I'm blessed to have you on our show. I
Well,
am
thank
true.
you.
I am. I'm truly blessed because now the world can get to know the amazing you. For those who don't already know you, they can get to know the amazing you. So I'm so proud of you, and it's
Thank
amazing. I
you.
gotta ask you because now you mentioned, I didn't mention age. Now you sort of kind of brought age into the conversation. So are you willing to share your age at this time?
I am. Yes. I think age is just a number. I'm 47.
40. Listen, y'all, and she's a fitness queen. I don't listen. I gotta ask you because I want to go into and talk a little bit about your the foundation that you mentioned and so forth. Where did fitness come into this journey? Because I mean, I'm seeing you and you're like you did a competition last year. Now,
Yes.
I don't know, was that your first, or have you been doing competitions for a while, or?
So I will tell you, I grew up being known as the smart, nice one. I was not the athlete. I really didn't have a sport that, I felt really good at or felt strong in. And it wasn't until I was in my 40s that, well, maybe late 30s, that I discovered feeling empowered and strong. And I found that in the gym. Um, and it was, after my divorce, I came back to Kansas and really kind of just took some time to focus on myself and built myself up in terms of self-confidence, self-esteem,
Yes.
sense of worth, because, some of that goes by the wayside when you get divorced and you've been in somewhat of an unhealthy relationship. And
Right.
then I started to find that by sharing my story and being raw and open about the struggles and the triumphs, that it indirectly inspired other women. And I think sometimes as women, we're afraid to be like, hey, I'm struggling here, because there's this notion that, oh, well, everything needs to be perfect, and you need to, you've got to be super mom, and you've got to do all of these things, and you better not be struggling because, man, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And I was like, nah, it's okay. Like,
Yes.
it's okay to admit that
Yes.
you're struggling. And for me, the gym became almost like therapy, and it became a place where I could relieve some stress. I could focus on myself a little bit, and without feeling selfish, because sometimes that's another thing that moms in particular struggle with, is making yourself a priority in your own life. And so it's only been a few years that I really kind of found the power that I find in the gym. And the show that I did my very first show in 2016, and it was a transformation show. And what that is they pretty much show your before photo on this humongous screen behind you.
Wow.
And then you walk out in your bikini and they tell your story. And so for me, it was, I had shed 60 pounds. I had shed some toxic relationships. And yet I had gained a whole sense of self and a sense of empowerment and a sense of, I call it, in fact, I called the year 2016 the year Kim became badass, because it's really where I just kind of found this inner strength that I didn't know that I had. And so, I've kind of wanted to share that journey with other women in particular, because I think a lot of women could find strength and power within themselves that they didn't know they had. And for me, I found it in the gym. Not everybody's going to find it in the gym, and that's okay. As long as you're taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you don't have to live in the gym. But for me, that's kind of where I found myself.
Wow, that's wonderful. What you just shared, Kimberly, has changed so many lives. Those that are listening and those that are watching live on Facebook, it's wonderful. Your testimony is saving lives, and I'm so proud that of your journey, of where you've come from to where you are now, and it's amazing. But I want to go back just a little bit, if I could, and talk about the time, just before the transformation, but some of the struggles that you dealt with. How did you come out of that? Because so many people go into a place of whether it's sadness or darkness or just a depressed or just a difficult space for a moment. And so for you, after your divorce, what helped you to come out of that? Because that's what so many people are just missing. Like, what is it that helps them turn that mindset to say, you know what? No, I'm going to live. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be me. I'm going to love me. Because I saw a post that you had put on Facebook not too long ago, actually, that talked about how you did not love yourself, and so how did you come out of that? What was it? Was it people? Was it a place? Was it multiple things? But just to help somebody else that's listening on the call now, what helped you get through that?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to realize that it's okay if you have dark moments, but then you always need to find the light.
Yes.
I always say, it's okay to feel what you feel and to be down, but don't live there.
Yes.
And I think for me, it was kind of a combination of things. one, I intentionally started practicing gratitude and positivity because I firmly believe that your thoughts shape your reality. And there's a lot of scientific data to say that literally what you think and what you speak to yourself shapes your reality. And so I really made a conscious effort to stop the negative self-talk and to really start focusing on the positives. And some days, man, it was a struggle. I had to find little tiny things to be grateful for, and yet if I focused on those, then overall the outlook kind of changed. Awesome. I also have been blessed with the best family in the whole world. And I'm not being biased. I'm being honest. Like, they are the best family. And I have the most amazing fiance in the world. And I think, really focusing on people who breathe life into you and who lift you up when you're struggling and who help you come back to the light if you're in a moment of darkness, and help you see the positive. I think for me, and then obviously prayer and my relationship with God, I've gotten so much closer to God. I mean, I've always been a Christian. I grew up in church. I was baptized when I was 8. So I've always had God in my life, but kind of reconnecting with him and really realizing that, out of the billions of people on earth, he pays attention to me individually, and he knows what's in my heart and on my mind, and he's got me. So I would say it's a combination of those three things.
Awesome, Kimberly. Listen, that's amazing, and just I'm just proud of you. I really am.
Thank you.
And where God has brought you from and where he's taken you. So I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I got to ask you, though, you mentioned the word selfish. How did you deal with that? Because I know a lot of moms, and their first priority a lot of times is not themselves. It's their children or it's other people, but especially their children. And again, being a professor at a college, having children, I'm sure whatever employment that you had or just life, how did you get to a point where you were okay with giving time and attention to you for you?
I think when I realized that it made me a better mom, it made me a better partner, it made me a better professor if I took a little bit of time for myself.
Wow.
And, as a single mom, you're like scrambling between work and kid activities. And so sometimes it meant, I literally would get up at 4:30 to go to a 5 a.m. boot camp so that I could be done in time to, start shuffling kids to school and stuff. And so sometimes it wasn't always fun because I was tired, but it definitely made me a better person overall. It made me a better mom. I had more energy and I was less stressed. And so I think realizing that, and then I also think about, I'm raising daughters, and I think about what kind of daughter do I want to raise? Do I want to raise a daughter who feels like she can't take time for herself because she's got to constantly give and give and give? No, I want my daughters to be healthy and happy, and I want them to know that, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to take 45 minutes to an hour a day to yourself to do something that makes you feel good and is good for you.
Awesome.
And I want my sons to see it's okay for their wives to do that too, because it makes them better people.
Yes. Listen, everybody, you are listening to Dr. Kimberly McDowell from Kansas. She is a PhD professor. I'm telling you, we're so proud of her in the School of Education at Wichita State University, and we're so proud of her, and mother of 5 with 4 bonus children, and co-founder of a nonprofit focused on health, wellness, education, support, and resources for at-risk youth, fitness extraordinaire. And listen, so you're telling me at the age of about, give or take 44, so 43, 44, 45, you decide to go into this event called Transformation.
Yes.
And what was that experience like? Because I can only imagine the nerves, like coming on, going in front of people, and talking about your life and your journey. What was that moment like?
So it was both terrifying and liberating at the same time. I remember being backstage, and I've been on stage before. I've competed in pageants, and I've even done some pageants that required swimsuit, but this one was really about being I mean, it was raw. It was open. I was being honest about my story, the good, the bad, and the ugly, about all of it. And then they were showing this before photo, which, you know, oftentimes, and I'm going to speak from the heart here, women avoid posting photos they don't look good in, or they avoid taking photos if they don't feel good about their bodies. And so here I was in this photo, 60 pounds heavier than when I was walking out on stage. And it's not, I mean, it's, you know, you can tell that the person in that photo is not happy and does not love herself. And so I remember being backstage realizing, oh my gosh, I'm about to be super vulnerable to all these people that I don't know. Because I went with myself. I had one friend in the audience, and she, of course, knew my story, but I was literally shaking backstage. And I remember saying a little prayer and taking a breath and then walking out on stage. And like I said, it was terrifying, but it was also one of the most liberating experiences to be like, you know what? This is me.
Yes.
This is me. And I'm raw and I'm open and I'm human. And it's been a struggle, and yet it's been a huge celebration. And they called, so that the transformation people all came out at the end together. And the MC of the show was talking about, you know, because everybody had a slightly different story. You know, we had somebody who had overcome a drug addiction, and we had somebody who overcame diabetes and changed her diet. You know, so everybody's transformation story was a little bit different, but he just talked about, you know, celebrating your journey, embracing your story, and then not being afraid to share it, because it really does inspire and motivate others. And others may not be open about their journey, but I've received so many private messages from individuals saying, you know what, first of all, kudos to you for doing what you're doing. And second of all, you've inspired me. You know, I'm taking a yoga class, or I've lost 15 pounds because I cut out soda, or, you know, something. And I'm just like, wow, like, I didn't realize that my story was going to impact the lives of others the way that it has. And it's been, like I said, it's been a blessing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Listen, again, I applaud you. We applaud you, literally, as well as just, you know, just all of who you are and who you become and who you're still becoming. It's still amazing.
Yes.
I mean, your journey is so limitless. I'm so excited to see what you're about to do next. I mean, I really am.
Oh, yes.
You know, and so I'm going to get to that, but I don't want to forget this point. I want to ask you, because what people don't understand is when you change, or when I change, it impacts everybody around us. So I have to ask you, when you changed, when you came from that dark place into a place of light, a place of confidence, a place of self-love, did your family or friends, did they have to adjust? Because I know normally, typically, sometimes they're like, and wait a minute, Mom, like, who's this now? And who's that? You know, like, so did you find that people around you had to adjust to the new you?
Yes, in certain ways. So like I said, I've been blessed with the most amazing family, and they have been my biggest cheerleaders and my biggest supporters from day one. Awesome. I will say some of the things that I have noticed, you know, when I let go of fear, and when I let go of the notion that I needed to please everybody, I started to notice changes in my children, and that they were letting go of some things that perhaps they were internalizing, or things that were holding them back. And now I've seen, you know, again, blessed with some amazing kids, but my kids are brave and fearless and giving to others. And not that they weren't that way before, but it's just been manifested and magnified, I think, since they have seen kind of some of the changes within my life. And then, you know, again, in some of my friends, I think that seeing the strength that kind of comes with going through this journey. I have seen some of my friends choose to face some things that would be difficult for them to face otherwise, but they have faced it because I have helped inspire them and motivate them a little bit.
I love it. I love it. And it's so powerful when you become the living example for your children and for those around you, and they feed off of that. And I think it's so wonderful that you are that example to your children. And I want to ask you one more question about that. Was there ever a moment that you thought that you would not come out of that dark place?
Oh, yes. And it was also not a straight line. Like, it's
Right.
not like, okay, I'm in this dark place and now I'm not. Oh my
Right.
goodness, no. It was cyclical sometimes. And
Mm.
when you've been in that place for a while, and when you're used to being treated a certain way, or um, verbally berated, like, it is a something you have to go through multiple times before
Yes.
you finally come out of the at the end in the light. And so, yes, absolutely, there were times, and then there were times where I would, um, you know, I'm learning and growing myself as an individual, and so I had to learn a lesson, and then that lesson helped propel me a little bit, more forward. And
Yes.
um, so, absolutely, there were times where, now I will say, it never got to the point where I had, really dark suicidal thoughts or anything like
Right.
that. But
Right.
there were
Right.
certainly times where I thought that, I'm struggling, and
Yes.
I'm in this place that I feel lonely and alone, and yet thoughts of my kids always pulled me out of it, because, they're my life, and,
Awesome.
my heart and my soul living outside my body. So I knew that I was going to have to be the one to fix this, and because this is my life and I'm 100% responsible for it. So yeah.
Well, listen, I'm so glad that you are moving in such a wonderful direction. Your journey is amazing. I follow you on Facebook and just see all of your things that you're doing and your wonderful posts and just your wonderful transformation. You are transforming into, well, you were already Wonder Woman, but it's just another phase of Wonder Woman. Now, I'm just saying it's truly amazing to see the confidence. When I see your pictures and your posts, I mean, it is a woman, not even a woman, an individual, but of confidence, of like no holds barred, of just
Mhm.
limitless. And that's what we try to emanate on this show, is to encourage people that, listen, you can do this. Whatever it is that you want to aspire to do, to dream, to believe, take the step and walk with purpose into your destiny. So that's what this show is all about. And your journey, Kimberly, I'm telling you, is so inspiring and has encouraged so many people. I let people know it's okay not to be okay, but
Yes.
understand that there's something greater, something more coming after that. So I'm so proud of you again and all that you've done
Thank
and
you.
where you're going. I got to ask you, do you have any next dreams? Because I want to get to a moment, because I want to learn more about this foundation. But do you have any next dreams that are upcoming or that you're
Oh
working on?
yeah. So yeah. So Tion and I literally have a 5 foot by 8 foot vision board,
All
and it's
right.
got things related to the foundation, which we'll
Yes.
talk about here in a minute. But there's also a personal goals section, and so I'm doing another. Well, we both are doing another fitness show in November in Kansas City, and it will be my first bikini division. So this isn't a transformation division. This is a bikini division.
Okay.
We've got another photo shoot scheduled, and then I am working on another book that I want to um, publish here soon. That's actually about this journey that I've kind of gone through. And then I'm an educator, and I have always loved the idea of kind of a experiential, multi-age lab school, and so I've got that on the vision board. So yeah, I have a lot of a lot of things that are next steps or things I'm aspiring to. So yeah.
Wait. You're telling me that at the age of 47 that
Mhm.
you have a vision board.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
if you stop dreaming and stop aspiring, what's the point of being alive? Like, dude,
yes.
and I don't know if you remember, but in my Facebook Live, like, I want to die exhausted. I get this one life, right? I'm
Right.
going to make it the boldest, most audacious life I can. I'm going to die exhausted. I
All
don't
right,
want to have
Dr. Kimberly.
any ounce of energy or breath left in me when I go.
Right. Listen,
Yeah.
it's amazing, and listen, and I love it because people need to see and hear. Like listen, I'm 48, and so I never listen. Who knew that I would have my own show on Hamilton Radio
Right.
at at almost the age of 50? I mean, it's
Yeah.
so there's no limit, no destiny, no. It's all about your purpose, walking in your purpose, being excited. I'm excited. I don't know everything that's going to happen next, Kimberly, but I know something greater is coming. And so
Yes.
it's wonderful. I love the fact that you have a vision board and that you continue not only just dreams that touch others, but just personal dreams as well. I love that. I love that, and it's inspiring. I mean, it is
Thank
truly
you.
truly inspiring. So I gotta ask you about your foundation. You have this Prime Fit Youth Foundation. How did this come about?
Yes. So, Keon and I had visited about, some things that we're both passionate about, and he's been a lifelong athlete. I just discovered kind of my inner athlete. And so it actually started off as this Prime Fit LLC, which was a for-profit, personal training, contest prep, nutrition planning, that kind of thing. And then about 2 weeks into that, we both realized that really our underlying passion is helping kids and supporting kids and rallying around kids. And so we decided to form a nonprofit that's kind of like a sister entity to Prime Fit. So we founded Prime Fit Youth Foundation. It is a registered nonprofit. We just received 501c3 status. And
Congratulations.
the charitable, thank you. The charitable mission is to provide resources and support for at-risk youth in our community, focused on health, wellness, and education. And really, if you think about the name, Prime Fit, we want kids to not only be fit physically, but we want them to be fit mentally, emotionally,
Yes.
And in terms of academics. And so, you want to talk about a God thing and a blessing. The number of community partners that have come to us that we have formed relationships with, the initiatives, we can't keep up.
Wow.
It is such a blessing because one, we truly are passionate and firmly believe in the mission and the vision of this organization, and then the need that we're seeing in our community. Tiana and I went to a meeting last week, and he was talking to a gentleman who's the director of diversity and equity in the school district, and they were talking about one of the boys who was doing fine academically and social emotionally in elementary school, and then he went to middle school, and his attendance has decreased, his grades have decreased. He's starting to, show a little bit of attitude and making some not so smart choices. And they were both talking about him being shuffled from different family members' homes because mom's incarcerated. And
Wow.
they both looked at each other and they said, this kid has given up because nobody's willing to fight for him. And I got emotional because I thought, it is not okay for a kid to have somebody who's not willing to fight for them.
Yes.
And so right then and there, I'm like, we will be here and we will fight for them.
Yes.
We will fight for every kid in this community. And we laugh because people tease us that, well, you can't touch every child in this community. Oh, you want to bet?
That's
Watch
right.
us. Watch
Yes,
us.
that's right.
1 out of 10 is not okay. We're aiming for 10 out of 10, and that's what we're doing. So
Awesome.
let's go.
Wow, that's amazing. That is truly amazing, and I love that. And it's funny you said that, Kimberly, because I was thinking about that word this past week about fighting for others, like someone advocating, someone being willing to fight and stand up for that young person or that person that just doesn't have the ability to fight for themselves just yet. But
Right.
it's about empowering them with the skills, the tools, and the strength and the knowledge to be able to fend for themselves. So that is so what do you want the young people that are associated with this foundation to walk away with?
I want them to be good humans. I want them to have a sense of self. I want them to feel empowered to make smart choices.
Wow.
I want them to pursue post-secondary education, whether it's college or some sort of other training program. And that's one of our goals, is to provide scholarship funds to students.
Awesome.
And then I want them to turn around and give back to others.
Yes, I love it. Well, you're definitely an example of that. So if they're looking at anyone, they will be amazing because you're involved. So thank you so much
thank
for
you.
your absolutely. Is there any way that if anyone wants to help to support you and support this foundation, is there a website or a PayPal or email address or a Facebook page or an Instagram page? Is there any way that someone Yes.
Yes, we pretty much have all of that. So we do have a website. It's primefityouthfoundation.org, and there is a donate tab on there. We also are on Facebook, and it's PrimeFit ICT. And then we're on Instagram, and it's PrimeFit with an _ ICT. And then our email address is primefittrainer@gmail.com.
Wow, wow, phenomenal. So listen, everybody, please follow this amazing young lady, Kimberly McDowell, Dr. Kimberly McDowell. We're so, again, proud of you and honored, and it's really been a blessing for me. Like we said, 6, 7 years ago, we happened to connect, and I'm just grateful that we have and we've continued to associate and fellowship, and it's been an amazing watching your journey. So I'm honored that you're having a moment to come on our show because you're so busy. So I thank you.
Well, I appreciate the invitation. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So again, you're doing the foundation. Again, you're a full-time professor. It's amazing what you're doing and your vision board on what's next. It's truly, truly, truly awesome. So I got to ask you, is there anyone, because you got about 12 minutes left on the show, is there anyone that you want to give any shout outs to? Anyone that has helped you along your journey or along your way? And if not, because I know some people are like, well, I don't want to forget anybody, but is there anyone that you really want to just give a shout out to at this time?
Well, first of all, Tion, he has been a true gift from God and has really, it's rare to find a partner who is okay with being a strong, independent woman and who fully and genuinely supports all of these things that I want to accomplish in life. So I'm super grateful for him. And then my mom and Jess and my sister Jill. And then I have a tribe of women friends that have really been there for me through everything. And it's Angela, Meredith, and Jennifer, and then my new friend Turi. So I've been blessed with really strong, powerful women who have rallied around me in moments that I really needed them. So, and then obviously my kids, all of them have been great, great blessings and gifts themselves. So
wonderful, wonderful. I gotta ask you, and we applaud all of them. We applaud everyone that is around you, and thank you so much for being willing to surround our youth and to give them another sense of hope, another light, another person to be a part of their tribe, to hopefully inspire them to to let them know that their dreams can come true as well. And I got to ask you this: how much did your external in terms of fitness impact the internal, and vice versa? Or do you think it was the internal that impacted the external? Because I know that with so many young people, even adults, they are so defined by their external physical, and so many times they're not happy. They're not, because of so much expectation. I'm sure, as you know, there's so much expectation regarding the look, and I know some young people say, well, I'm overweight, or I'm this, or I'm that, and it begins to affect their personality of who they are. What would you say to that young person? Because I know some young people who they're fit, but they're just, their bone structure, they're just naturally a bigger person in the sense of physical, but sometimes but there are some who just have wonderful personalities, but they know who they are. So how would what would you say to that young person that is struggling with sort of that identity of sort of that physicalness on the external is actually dictating more so to the internal? Right.
Well, and I would say, first of all, beauty isn't defined by a size. It's defined by your heart and your soul and what you share with others. So I never want anybody to think, well, I have to be a size 4 to be beautiful. No, you don't. Now, there is a difference between being healthy and unhealthy. And what that looks like varies greatly person to person. But I would say, for me personally, my external body became almost like manifestation of the toxicity that was happening inside me. So for me, they go very, very much hand in hand. When I was in an unhealthy relationship, when I was afraid to confront some things that I needed to confront. I was afraid to have some hard conversations with people that I needed to have those conversations with. And so I just internalized all of that. And so then my body became a manifestation of all of that stuff happening inside of me. And so then not only was I unhealthy physically, I was unhealthy emotionally and mentally as well, in terms of really not dealing with the things that I needed to deal with. And when I finally realized, you know what, nobody's going to fix this for me. I got to man up. this is my life, and this is not the way I want to live it. And so then for me, so it was kind of a mind shift, and I started eating better. I started taking care of myself physically, and that transformation then led to an internal transformation as well, because, when you become disciplined and you start making choices about taking care of yourself physically, for me, that then translated into, okay, so I'm getting healthy physically. I also need to make sure that I'm getting healthy emotionally and mentally. And that meant making some changes in those areas of my life as well. And, I did a lot of prayer. I hung out with people that were good for my soul. Yes. I did a lot of reading, a lot of reflection. And I, had to face some stuff that I didn't want to face. And by facing it, that's what I mean by owning your story. Like, again, it's okay. It's okay. Like it's okay to be open about that stuff, because you're not the only one who's going through that stuff. And I realized that once I started sharing and being open about it with other people.
Awesome. Do you do motivational, like if somebody invites you to come and speak to the group, like, is that something that you do now?
I certainly could. I haven't really had the opportunity to do that. I just kind of do it individually with people that as they reach out to me. But yeah, I love to speak in front of people, and I love to, like I said, kind of inspire and share my story, because there's power. There's power in owning your story and not being afraid to share it. Absolutely. And I think, again, that's something that women in particular, in my opinion, need to be okay with, and need to know that it's okay.
Yes, it is. It is. I'm telling you. So listen, everybody, please, let's give an applause for Dr. Kimberly McDowell. Kimberly, when are you coming back to Jersey?
I don't know. I'm actually relaunching the series of fashion shows. We've renamed them, and we're going to rebrand them, and then obviously they'll be benefiting health and wellness and education for at-risk kids. But so I'm going to have to talk to my Jersey connections up there, and, and maybe we'll host a show up there.
Yes, we got to have you back in Jersey, or maybe I got to go out to Kansas. I don't know, y'all. I've never been there before, but I'm telling you.
Oh, you're missing out. It's. I tell you, the best part about Kansas are the people. They are the warmest, most genuine people you will ever find.
Awesome. Well, listen, if you're a testament to the people in Kansas, then okay, I agree, because you're amazing. So thank you. Listen, we have about 5 minutes left, but I'm so honored, and I have to somehow get you to Jersey, or somehow if you come, we have to definitely try to connect. But it's been wonderful. It really has been inspiring. You are an inspiration. You are a jewel. You are precious. You are priceless. Your story is saving lives. Your journey, from all that you've been through, is saving lives. And I applaud you. I promote you. I elevate you and say thank you so much for sharing for being willing and not afraid to allow fear to stop you from telling your story. And I'm just proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I can't wait to see what happens next in your journey.
Thank you.
We have about 4 minutes left on the show. Do you want to have any last words for our audience, or is there anything else you want to share with our audience about you, about your foundation, about anything that you're working on?
Yeah. So I think, if people want to rally around the foundation, we are hosting a couple events that are coming up. And so if they like the Facebook page, which is Prime Fit ICT, we're hosting an all-star weekend in November that is centered around youth athletes, and in particular football. And I am excited about the event because it's football, and it's like a skills showcase, and then some all-star football games for kids grades 3 through 8. But it's also mentoring. We're going to have some motivational speakers that speak to the boys about life choices and, kind of trying to help set them on the right track or to keep them on the right track. And then in March, we're hosting a fitness show, which I'm excited about because we're having a transformation division in the fitness show. And both of those events are fundraisers for the nonprofit. So, if there are people local who want to participate, or if there are people who are interested in supporting it financially, either event, we're looking for sponsors for those as well.
Awesome.
And then I think, kind of last things, life lessons that I've learned. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was focused on kids, and they were talking about kids and kids' behavior in classrooms, and they mentioned that kids aren't seeking attention, they're seeking connection, and that really just spoke to my soul, because I believe we are all seeking connection.
Yes.
Connection to other people, connection to things that are bigger than us, so that we can leave a legacy or an impact on the lives of others. Connection to like-minded souls. And so I would just encourage people, and it can be frightening and scary to be vulnerable and to allow yourself to make connections, but I would encourage people to find ways to make connections with people around them, because for me, those connections have been life-changing and have truly, truly blessed me and my family. And if I had been afraid or had my walls up so high that I didn't allow those connections to occur, I would be missing out on some amazing life blessings that have come my way. So it's okay to seek out connections and to allow that to feed your soul.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kimberly McDowell, for being a connection for me all the way to Kansas. All the way to Kansas. And I am so elated for this connection with you. And that's all we try to do on this show, is to bridge connections to people who feel like they can't get over, but to bridge that connection. And so we're thankful for you so much for being on our show. I'm grateful for you. So thank you, Dr. Kimberly McDowell. Please follow her on social media. Prime Fit. Yes. You have any last words you want to say to us?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I have enjoyed getting to talk with you. Thank you.
No, I thank you so much. Listen, everybody, this is Dr. Kimberly McDowell, all the way from Kansas. We're so proud of her. Dr. again McDowell, full-time professor, mother of 4 with 4 bonus children, co-founder of nonprofit Prime Fit, the health, the wellness, education support, resources for at-risk youth, and fitness extraordinaire. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Inspiration with Troy Alexander. You know our motto: dream, take that step, walk with purpose into your destiny. This is Troy Alexander right here on Hamilton Radio. I'll see you next Monday at 8 o'clock. Have a great night. God bless.